not in the race with anybody to charge more than this one or as much as that one. It's of no concern to me.
What it has become right now, 100 crore club and this and
I've
that.
hiked up my price. I don't think Mr. Bachchan himself, if he's completely candid, would deny that even he never dreamed he'd get where he has, frankly.
We have this legendary actor Naseeruddin Shah, whose next film Maximum is releasing shortly. It's a huge honor to have you back on Bollywood Hungama.
Thanks.
You've said that Maximum, you're not playing Daya Nayak, and so tell us more about the film. It's somewhat based in 2003. Is it having any context as far as real life incidents?
Well, yeah, obviously it has drawn its inspirations from real life. The characters are not based on anyone in particular, and we are going to great pains to state that, because we don't want it to be misunderstood as a biopic or anything of the kind. Nor is it seeking to explain the motivation behind people like him. It is a study of two characters, both fictional, who are drawn vaguely. They have elements of Daya Nayak, Pradeep Sharma and Salaskar and all these other people,
right,
but they are not representative of them, and nor is it any kind of a comment on the police world. It's about two people who happen to be policemen and who from a certain point of view could be described as ruthless, cold-blooded, merciless, mercenary, etc. But they are people who stand by their own beliefs. They have their own set of values which are quite different from the accepted norm.
Right. You're using the word mercenary, and early 2000, the entire phase, we had these things that many findings had come that certain police officers, they were having huge bungalows and they were having a lot of money as well, and lots of encounters have happened during that tenure as well. Somewhere is that those questions, are they coming to the picture as well? Because I believe Sonu Sood's character, somewhere he says that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see, it's very easy to say that these people should be put away or what they did was wrong and so on. But as I've often felt that it's not easy to be a policeman, and it's very easy to curse them and say they're ineffective and they don't do this and they always turn up late and so on. But try doing one of their jobs, try being a traffic policeman for half an hour, and you'll find out that the amount of work they do, the kind of frustrations that they meet up with in the course of their work, the kind of dangers that they encounter, their lives in fact are in danger constantly. Any drunk in a car may knock them down at any time if he's in a bad mood. You realize that what is expected of them and what they receive in return is not at all commensurate. So it isn't easy to say that these guys should not have done this. I mean, people resort to all kinds of corrupt practices in all sorts of fields. It just so happens that the police world involves dealing with human lives. And that's what makes it peculiar and poignant. So nor is the film trying to justify them, nor is it condemning them. It's just presenting a picture of a world which exists. It's up to you to decide whether or not it should, and not for you to decide whether or not these guys were right or not.
Right.
This is what they did, and this is the price they paid for crossing the line.
So recently in one of your interviews you've said that you've been associated with lots of young directors, debutant directors. In fact, you've also said that you've worked with 3 debutant directors last year, and all of them, they made very disappointing films.
Yeah.
What is it in Kabir Kaushik that really just made you just sign this film? He's had a Seher, which I think was a phenomenal film.
Yes.
Wonderful performance by Arshad in that.
And then in between he had a couple of bad ones.
Right.
But that's part of the game. I still stay by my memory of Seher. And would love to be a part of a film like that. I think Kabir is finally back on the turf that he relishes. He's back on his home ground, so to say,
right,
with a subject like Maximum. He'd gotten diverted, I feel, in between into trying to make bubblegum films for the commercial industry. That's not his cup of tea. And I think he's back on his familiar turf once again with Maximum. And he's a very, very well organized, very calm and very trusting director when he's dealing with his actors.
You are one of the very few people in the film industry who's ruthlessly blunt about all the shoshebazi that happens within the film industry. You're very just, I think, critical about yourself as well, about the films that you have done, and a lot of other things as well. We can just keep on talking about it. So my question to you will be that, don't you have these temptations that you've just delivered a dirty picture, which is like a blockbuster and all? Here, abhi mujhe, I have to just hike up my price and I have to be getting some really big crores and all, because this is what it has become right now. 100 crore club and this and
I've
that.
hiked up my price. if that's what you're asking.
Which movies? Ded Ishqiya?
With Ded Ishqiya has not yet fallen into place. I'm still considering it. It's still up in the air, frankly. I don't yet know the script. But I don't know how I have reached where I have reached, starting from Nishant, for which I was paid 7,500 rupees,
Right.
which was a fortune for me then. And I haven't been conscious of this at all, actually, tell you the truth. In fact, after Dirty Picture, people kept telling me, come on, yaar, Vidya is charging this much and Arshad is charging this much. And so it's of no concern to me who's charging what. I charge as much as I feel I need. I'm not in the race with anybody to charge more than this one or as much as that one. It's of no concern to me. God bless them all. Whatever they're making, good for them. More strength to them. I'm very content with the amount I'm earning, Boris Becker, the tennis player, when he was #1 in the world, turned down an offer to play some tournament for which he was being offered $5 million or something. And so they asked him, why have you turned this down? So he said, well, I have 15 already. What can you do with 20 million that you can't do with 15?
You've done a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, that is a Hollywood film, a big film. You had a pivotal role as well. When you would say that, why have you not just gone out and just got an agent for yourself and did many more Hollywood films? Like we've seen Mr. Kapoor in the recent times. He's had Mission Impossible and Slumdog Millionaire. And the amount of publicity that went around his role in Mission Impossible was too much.
I guess he likes doing publicity about himself. I'm not interested in that.
Okay, but wouldn't you want to do more stuff in Hollywood? Because I think you've followed the context quite well.
Not really. It's no different from our Bombay industry. They have a little more class because they have more money. But it's otherwise it's no different from our Bombay industry.
Right.
So if I have to do rotten films, I'll do them here. Why do them in Hollywood?
So you've said it at many a times that the way it works within the system, all the money that come into the stardom, and how once आप एक बार star बन जाते हैं, then you have to be treated in a certain manner that if you're Amitabh Bachchan, that you have to be doing Amitabh Bachchan sort of movies. If you're a Paresh Rawal, then you have to be offered comedy. So वो एक जो stereotyping होती है, which is very very typical of what we have in Bollywood. I think still Hollywood, I'm sure that there have been many movies which have had where the character is far more important than maybe the star system.
But when they think of an Indian character, it's always a stereotype.
Right.
Always a stereotype. Which is why I was offered some after League of Extraordinary, similar roles. So I refused them all because I don't want to play the Coolie and the Maharaja and the Butler and all these where Indians fit in. It'll be a while before Indian actors are accepted in the mainstream in Hollywood as leading actors. In England, it's already happening on television and so on. But in America, it'll take a while longer. And so what I was being offered, I didn't fancy doing those parts, of the Indian wearing a turban and saying, yes, master, And Hollywood doesn't think beyond that. They think in stereotypes.
You've also said that you consider the Amitabh Bachchan of parallel cinema. But at the same time, I was reading one of your interviews and you've said that you never had this dream of being an art film hero.
No, of course not.
It was something that was forced and many a times...
It happened.
Right.
It just happened. I don't think Mr. Bachchan himself, if he's completely candid, would deny that even he never dreamed he'd get where he has. Frankly, what he's become. I don't think when he was doing Reshma or Shera or Parwana, I don't think he imagined this for himself. He was always a very good actor. I think he imagined success as an actor, which is what I also imagine.
Right.
And that's all. To be called the Amitabh Bachchan of commercial cinema or of parallel cinema is a misnomer because in no way is the analogy correct because Mr. Bachchan's very presence assures massive revenue, massive coverage, massive publicity, massive box office returns.
Ji.
My presence does not guarantee any of those things.